Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a weekend review reviewing this weekend's Premier League and Championship action. And then starting off with a shocking result at the Etihad, where it finished Manchester City 1, Brentford 2. Tony in the 16th minute gave Brentford the lead before Foden on the verge of half-time equalised, but Tony in the 98th minute scored for Brentford and got the win, and what a remarkable comeback for him, saved after such disappointment. But yeah, City dominated the game, dominated possession you might expect. Brentford actually had more shots than goals, but yeah, what an incredible result for Brentford. What a way to go into the break. City 5 points behind Arsenal now. Wow. Moving on then to West Ham 0, Leicester 2 at the London Stadium. James Maddison was taking off in the 8th minute due to he scored in the 8th minute and then was taken off in the 25th minute due to an injury, but it seems like he's okay, thank God. And then Tielemans missed a penalty in the 42nd minute, but Harvey Barnes in the 78th minute gave Leicester the winner. And yeah, a game with not too much separation the two sides. I think for a lot of the game West Ham kind of were on top because they were losing, but yeah, what a great result for Leicester, really finding some momentum now. West Ham, I think the break could be the reset they need. Moving on then to a great game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham 4, Leeds 3. Somerville made it 1-0, then Kane equalised, Rodrigo 2-1 to Leeds, Davies 2-2, and then Rodrigo again 3-2 to Leeds, but then 2 goals in 2 minutes from Bentancur gave Tottenham the 4-3 win. Adams was sent off after that for Leeds for a second yellow, and yeah, it was a tight game, but Tottenham just about came up on top. Frenetic action, you couldn't really take your eyes off it. And yeah, great game, big win for Conte to go into the break with a win, but for Leeds a disappointing result, especially as they were in front for so long. Moving on then to a big result for Nottingham Forest going into the break. It finished them 1, Palace 0. Wilfried Zaha missed a penalty in the 41st minute, and 30 minutes later in terms of Gato, I know we had half time, but Morgan Gibbs-White gave Forest a win, and yeah, a game with not too much separated two sides. It wasn't the best game I've ever seen really. Palace didn't really have a shot on goal compared to Forest, only had 2, so yeah, not the best game I've ever seen, but you know, a good win for Forest, and that will give them some much new momentum. Palace, though, this will be a frustrating result for them undoubtedly. Moving on into Nathan James's first game charge of Southampton at Liverpool, where it finished Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. Firmino in the 6th minute gave Liverpool the lead before Shea Adams equalised 3 minutes later, but then 2 goals from Nunez on the 21st and the 42nd minute made it 3-1 to Liverpool. And yeah, that was enough. I mean, a decent performance from Alisson here, I think it's fair to say. Southampton weren't totally bad, but Liverpool, yeah, deserving of the 3 points, I would say. And that's a really, really good result for them. So they'll be pleased with that. But Southampton, yeah, a lot of work for Nathan Jones today. Moving on into Bournemouth 3, Everton 0 at the Vitality. Tavernier, Kiefer Moore and Anthony with the goals for Bournemouth. And Bournemouth here, what a great performance from them. Great result. For them, they'll be absolutely buzzing with that. But Everton, really poor form at the moment, and yeah, I think it is something that needs addressing. Potentially they'll get rid of Lampard during the break. I personally don't think they will. But yeah, he may not have too long left. And yeah, the fans weren't happy, and they sure made it known after the full-time whistle. If you've seen the clips, go and look at them. Moving on into Newcastle 1, Chelsea 0 at St James's Park. Willock with the only goal of the game in the 62nd minute. And yeah, Newcastle, for me, they were deserving of the 3 points. They're the better team. Yeah, what an incredible season they've had so far. Currently sitting 3rd under Eddie Howe, 7 points off the top, 4 points ahead of Manchester United in 5th. So yeah, just an absolutely incredible season they've had so far. But for Chelsea, yeah, the questions are starting to be asked of Graham Potter because this isn't really a great run of form. They need the break to reset, I think. Moving on then to Wolves 0, Arsenal 2 at Molineux. And yeah, comfortable win for Arsenal, I would say, really. Odegaard with 2 goals, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 75th minute. Wasn't too much separating the two sides on the stats, really. But yeah, I think Arsenal kind of really did have it in control. That's the impression I got anyway. So yeah, Arsenal currently sitting top of the Premier League, and yeah, just continuing their great season. 5 points clear. Are Arsenal fans starting to believe? I'd be really interested to see if they are now. But Wolves going into Christmas bottom, really poor start for them. Moving on into Brighton 1, Villa 2 at the Amex. And yeah, McAllister gave Brighton lead in the 1st minute, but Danny Ings from the spot in the 20th minute levelled things up, and he scored again in the 54th minute. And yeah, I mean, that was it really. Good win for Villa, really solid win for them. But yeah, I mean, Brighton, disappointing to go into break on the loss after a decent run of form under a new manager, but for Villa, they're starting to pick up some momentum now under Unai Emery. Moving on into Fulham 1, Manchester United 2, the last Premier League game before the World Cup. Ericsson gave United a lead in the 14th minute before ex-Man United player Dan James, he scored the equaliser 2 minutes after coming on, and Garnacho in the 93rd minute. What a start that player, Alex. Getting a win for United in a tightly tidy game. But yeah, it's exactly sort of when United need to take them into break. Bit lucky, but what a great result for them. Fulham, frustrating, but they're still having a great season, aren't they? And they still still push Manchester United really hard. Moving on then to the Championship action, starting off on Friday night with Birmingham 1, Sunderland 2. Sims in the 25th minute gave Sunderland the lead, and speaking of Manchester United, Diallo scored a lovely goal in the 49th minute, of course on loan from Manchester United, and Jukovic in the 78th minute gave Birmingham a lifeline, but in the end they couldn't get anything from the game. But yeah, it's going Birmingham will be frustrating because they kind of dominated pre-season, just couldn't find that second goal. But Sunderland, great result for them to go into the break with. Moving on then to Huddersfield 0, Swansea 0 at the John Smith Stadium. And yeah, Huddersfield, fair play to them. They showed grit to kind of grind out a draw here. Swansea 76% possession, dominated the game, double the amount of shots as Huddersfield. So yeah, fair play to them. Huddersfield, they dug it out and got a really solid point, and it means they're still bottom going into the break, still 3 points adrift, but was it 4 points from 2 now? It's giving them a bit of momentum going into the break now. But for Swansea, yeah, they need to stop with these draws and start picking up wins again. Moving on into Cardiff 0, Sheffield United 1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. Only goal again coming from George Baldock in the 64th minute. And yeah, not a lot to separate between the two sides here really. It's a game that could have gone either way. Cardiff may feel a bit hard done by, they didn't get anything from the game, but for Sheffield United, a really, really solid victory. They're going to go into the World Cup break with quite a bit of momentum now, even with that loss to Rotherham. 4 wins, 5. They'll just be so frustrated by that game, I think. But yeah, a really, really solid result for them. Yeah, moving on then to Wigan 2, Blackpool 1 at the DW Stadium. Epitika was sent off in the 17th minute for Blackpool, but Gary Medine still gives the lead in the 34th minute. 4 goals from James McLean and Curtis Till gave Wigan a win. Latest coming in the 88th minute, so yeah, a late winner. And yeah, Wigan, I mean, like for me, with the better side, obviously they were going to dominate after the red card and just about got the reward after a bit of a scare. So yeah, great result for Wigan, you'd have to say. Moving on then to West Brom as they defeated Stoke 2-0, and what a great start it's been to Carlos Corberán, and goals from Bartley and Thomas Asante. And yeah, West Brom kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say dominated, they probably were slightly better team, wasn't domination station, but still a really, really solid performance. For Stoke though, this is disappointing, yeah, just lacking some consistency going into the World Cup break, but for West Brom now, up into 21st, starting to find some momentum now, and I don't know if they'll be happy to do World Cup breaks or not. I don't know, I think they will. More time for Corberán on the training pitch. Moving on then to Preston, to Millwall 4 at Deepdale, a bit of a crazy game this. Fleming gave Millwall a 2-0 lead before Hughes and Evans made it 2-2, but Fleming again completing his hat-trick, and Cresswell in the 72nd minute got the winning goal for Preston, and what a great result, for Millwall, and what a great result this is taking us to break. They're sitting in the pass in a really nice position. For Preston, this will be frustrating, and I think it's a game they felt like they should have got something out of. Moving on then to Norwich 1, Middlesbrough 2 at Carrow Road. Sargent gave Norwich lead in the 7th minute before Ronnie McCree equalised in the 64th minute, and Crooks in the 92nd minute gave Middlesbrough the victory. And yeah, I think Norwich will be really upset with this, conceding in the last minute like that, not great, but for Middlesbrough, a smash and grab, I think that's basically what it was. A really, really great result for them, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that. And yeah, good start for Michael Carrick, and they'll be looking to continue momentum now. Moving on into Luton 1, Rotherham 1 at Kenilworth Road. Lindsay in the 1st minute gave Rotherham the lead before Berry in the 90th minute equalised. So yeah, first and last minute goals in this game. And yeah, a game which Luton, I don't know, they can't dominate it, but when you're behind for 89 minutes, that's probably going to be the case, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, good result for Rotherham, I would still say, but will be frustrating not to hold on, having done so for so long in a way, and Luton just about taking a point. Moving on into Hull 1, Reading 2 at the KCOM, and yeah, Greaves gave Hull the lead in the 9th minute, but Yaki Mate equalised in the 32nd minute, and a lone goal from Longman in the 94th minute gave Reading the victory. And And yeah, Reading, I think we spoke about smashing grab earlier. This was a tightly contested game. A draw probably would have been a fair result. But yeah, an own goal in the 94th minute. That is a smash and grab. And what a great result for Reading. This is much needed after a poor run of form. Hull will be gutted to pick up a loss under Liam Rossini. But I still think they're heading in the right direction. But a much needed win from Reading. Moving on then to Coventry 2, QPR 0 at the Ricoh Arena. Gokares with 2 goals. For me, one of the best strikers in the division. 11th and 78th minute. Great result for Coventry. I would say on whole just about deserved the victory, even on possession stats and stuff like that. But I think Coventry probably have more chances in the game, and they're up to 11th now, 2 games in hand on most teams. And if they win those 2 games in hand, they could go up to 4th. So yeah, they're having a great comeback. But for QPR, this is a really disappointing run of form ever since Mick Beale turned down Wolves. Really, moving on into Bristol City 0, Watford 0 at Ashton Gate, Bristol City. For me, they were dominating proceedings here, and in the end couldn't find a way through the Watford defence. Watford didn't offer a shot on goal or anything like that. So yeah, I think Bristol City will probably be disappointed with this result. You couldn't really take a point at home to Watford, but still in a way frustrating. But for Watford, I would think they will see it's a solid point on the road. Moving on into Burnley 3, Blackburn 0 at Turf Moor on Sunday, and 2 from Ashley Barnes, 1 from Zaire, to give Burnley the 3-0 win. And Burnley kind of dominated this game, really, totally dominant, from start to finish. They're looking really good right now. They 3 points at the top, Blackburn 5 points behind them in third. Blackburn, I don't know, I've still got a feeling that when the season resumes, we could see them fall away a bit. But fair play to John Dow Thompson, they've had a great season so far as well. Good stuff. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching. To like, share, subscribe, let's subscribe to someone fun to show for daily football news and subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.